Assessing ELL Writing and Grammar, a guide for assessing the traditional ELL student. My name is Wayne Olberg, and I'll be presenting to you this evening. Guten Abend. The terminal learning objectives for this course would be that students will know basic level knowledge and access ELL writing. Students will know basic level standards for assessment. Students will know why writing is important. Students will know why assessing grammar is also important. First, we have to determine the standards. What are the standards? Standards are what we expect of students and what we expect them to learn. How would you feel if you were treated less than other students? Would it be a self-fulfilling prophecy? A self-fulfilling prophecy is when students commit role performance to their ascribed status in society. We have to make sure that what they do not expect more from a student that is just learning from a student that has already learned. How would you feel if you asked other students how to do an assignment and then they had no idea what you were talking about because they were on a different level of understanding than you were? So what do we expect from a normal student? The list is quite long and it is important for a teacher to narrow down their standards, as we will never be able to teach everything that we ever want to do. So our expectations is to know basic grammar, which are nouns, verbs, and adjectives. Know how to structure paragraphs, essays, and sentences. Know how to revise their own writing. That last one is extremely important because it's not just how to revise their own writing that they learn from that, it's how to revise other things in their life as well. Expectations continued. Know how to express prose, the language of the mind, know how to express poetry, the language of the soul, and know how to express opinions, the language of belief. Some of these are not focused on the style of writing itself, but its content. Writing is much more than grammar sentence differentiation. Writing is an expression, a work of art, if you will. And as a work of art, everyone is special. Writing is much more than just a transfer of information. Students need to learn that writing is not just a transfer of writing between two recipients communicating. It is also just a tool. It's also not just a tool for assessment, as teachers need to learn as well. It is a retroflexion of retrospection. Writing is a tool that is used to evaluate past events and ideologies. It is also used to form, to reflect on certain events. Think about whenever you write. Isn't it not always on an experience? Writing is still used as a method of intercommunication, however. Students will need to know how to write effectively, including writing adjectives, sentence structure variation, nouns, verbs, etc., etc., etc. Formative assessment is one of the best tools a teacher has in their toolbox and should always be used before officially assessing a student. It is used to see if they are understanding the concepts taught or if they have no idea. And if they have no idea, then it's important to get to feedback. There are many different types of way to do formal assessment. There's essays, speech, presentation, the interesting debate, etc. All these are a good idea, but a teacher should pick an option that fits the students the best. What should we do if they succeed? Firstly, you celebrate their success. Secondly, you do what you need to remove an appropriate amount of restriction. You want them to be in the least restrictive environment possible, and it's important to remember that. Thirdly, you pat yourself on the back. You did a great job as a teacher. Remember, English is not their home language. Speaking English is foreign to ELL students. It will be hard for them to get used to writing effectively. You need to be patient as an ELL teacher. Feedback. When a student fails an objective, it's important to provide well-mannered feedback, not advice. The difference of them two, of course, is that feedback is why you need to implement the advice, and advice is just saying why you're doing wrong. This way they can do better on their next assessment. Check on learning. Did we learn the basic level knowledge to assess ELL writing? I would say we did. We have to learn grammar, etc., etc. Did we learn the basic level standards of assessment? Yes, we did. Check on learning continued. Did we learn why writing is important? Yes, we did. We learned that writing is retrospection, all of that. Did we learn why grammar is important? Yes, it is. It's used as intercommunicatory. It helps people communicate with the world. Of course, writing is important to society in general, but it's also important to recognize that there's just children at the end of the day. And it's important for them to learn, but at the end of the day, you just have to do your best as a teacher.